let's see if that has worked. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows whether that has worked or not? Yeah. So I have no idea if this is working right now. So I can't really tell. So we're gonna go and fly blind with this whole thing. Alright. Regarding my quarterly results, like my quarter goals, one of the goals that I set myself was this: finish the Demon Diaries, Die Höllenakten by C.C. Hollister, which is a really cool book, and it's a funny one. And I haven't even filled this out yet. I thought I did, but I'm really not sure why it is not in here. So, okay. So we'll see if this actually works today. Sometimes it kind of loses data if I go between devices, and I'm not truly sure why, because this is actually there. Oh yeah, here the Night Princess. Like, because I knew I had already something in it, like this. This is Night Princess. This is what I'm listening to right now. It's a podcast. Here it is. Okay, so probably I didn't do anything with this. So let's fill this one out. Like, it's a German book by C.C. Hollister, and I bought it last year in September at the Berlin Book Fair. Where's Goodreads? I like Goodreads for this, so okay. Oh yeah, that one is good too. I love that one. I think I read that. But it's not the one that I'm currently looking for. Okay, here they are. Because I'm pretty sure I already made a screenshot for this. Like, I'm pretty sure I filled it. So, add a cover image. And maybe I didn't? I'm so confused. But anyway, I will show you some few things how I like to take pictures. You could kind of right mouse click and then go with save graphics, but sometimes it doesn't work, and then you have to upload it, and there's a really quick easy one. Like, you go in the Windows, you have the snipping tool. Here it is a screenshot tool similar to Snippet. Then you take your snippet. With the snipping tool, it's automatically in your copy paste memory. With this tool, you have to actually put it there. So I put it in the copy paste saving. Then I go to the add cover, so upload image, and then I simply do CTRL and V, like for copy and paste. So this is the paste version then, and then paste it, and now it is there. And like, I knew I had stuff there. Okay, it took some time. So let's check the images, because I don't want this image twice in there, and I might have to delete one. Yeah, I like the darker version one more. Let's completely delete this one. Yes, I want to completely delete that one. Currently I'm reading Pretty Mess, this one. And David, a friend of mine, he brought this upon me. And when I started, I was like reading. I completely lost track of time, and I'm like someone that needs sleep. Like, I truly, utterly need it. Because I get grumpy, and I'm kind of naturally like really tired and sleepy. So, yeah. And then I don't have enough sleep, but I couldn't stop either because it was so good. Yeah. It's a real pain, truth be told. Like, why am I at the October? That is not where I want this. Like, we're gonna go to today and add a daily note. I'm pretty sure I added the daily note yesterday, so I'm kind of confused why it isn't there. It's probably month. Let's check it. No, I didn't do a daily note yesterday, but I was bored as hell at work. Maybe it hasn't synced yet. I don't know why the syncing takes so freaking long sometimes. Well, I mean, if you have your device open and at the same time have your PC, I have it on the PC, it is kind of instantly, like, the syncing goes really well, but if you go, like, turning on one and log out and then log back in and another device, it kind of takes ages to synchronize. I don't know. It's just like that, I think. I don't know. Anyways, so let's go back to the Demon's Diaries, Die Höllenakten. And I see I will have to translate that one. Because it is in German. It's a German book. It's about demons. And in this case, it's actually the third volume that I read. I also have the first one. I don't have the second one. But the author that I met at the Berlin Book Fair, she said it doesn't really matter because the books in and of itself are kind of closed up stories, and this one is really cute. It doesn't have many pages, truth be told, and yet, as you can see, it took over a year to finish it because I didn't touch it for months at ends. I started, read through quite a bit, and then at some time in between I stopped reading, and then I got back to reading it, and then I stopped it again. Am I still at the 9th of October? I wanted to go to today. Anyways, so that's why it took so long. But I did put it on my list to finish this book this quarter. It is one of my goals. If you go to my goals, you can see Finish Demon Diaries, Die Höllenakten by C.C. Holster. And I did. I finished it because this week work was exceedingly low and I didn't have anything better to do yesterday than read a book at work. Not to say that I always don't have work at work. I usually do have work at work, but it is holiday time and a lot of lawyers are, taking a break from work and therefore not much comes to us. So because it was the same today, I asked for half the day off, which is, I was really bored and I didn't want to go early. Like, I would have to work those hours that I didn't work today at another day, and I didn't want that because I don't have any plus balance on my time account there. I am in the minus, so I didn't want to add to that because it's exhausting. But I have noticed that I'm between minus 2 hours at work and plus 2 hours at work. So this is kind of like a normal span for me. And I hope work picks up next week so that I can actually work the 1.5 hours that I'm still in the minus to make it like equal 0. Okay, so it's about demons. Let's go back to the book. It's about demons and the author makes it like she gets secretive information about hell and how it is worked for in terms that it has a government and everything. It still has the circles like circle 7, 9, and 10, and like the levels, not circles, the levels. And she makes it really, really fun. At the beginning, I think they are somewhat like chapters, but they're not really labeled as chapters. You have these files, I'll say, and there is sometimes stuff written in there, like things that should be interesting. There's also like something like a WhatsApp messaging back and forth between Kate, between the author and Crowfox, which is a character within the storyline, and he's the one giving her like inspiration about the whole thing, and she makes stories about it, and you kind of get the glimpse into those. That is what is happening. Like she has an article, and sometimes she has some random notes that she uses, and then she builds a story around that note, and it's really fun. And yeah, so let's see if I can kind of like summarize what is written here, because I don't want to go word by word. I could use a translator now, but I'm not that quick in translating, even though I'm quick at talking and anything else within my brain and writing in English, listening to English, but it's still kind of hard for me to translate, if that makes sense, because in my head, when I talk in English, I don't translate, I just talk. Like, I don't have to translate what I'm saying. It's like speaking German to me. From me, like if I were speaking German, I don't think about the definition of a word, if I say so. Yeah, that's kind of like this, but I'm not used to translating actively back and forth between the two languages, and I'm really not sure if that makes any sense at all. But it is fun, you know, like it makes in my head it makes sense, and sometimes I just understand and I'm not really sure how to translate them, the things that I have in my head. So let's see if it works now. No. I hope the chat is working. I'm not really sure if it does because there's an error. So wait. Let's see if the chat, okay, there's nothing in the chat. Like maybe I should make it smaller. Then you might see this now, but it's better than not seeing it at all. Like wait, like ding. Let's put this up here. Put this back there, and then move it so that I can only see the chat. Okay, let's. I think this is a pretty good setup. All right. Yes. All right. It's as I said. It's about. It starts like, as always. Within the infernal management, it is chaotic, and mostly there are the demons, female demons, Kay and Mia, and they are not really like innocent about this. So Kay and Mia are really high up demons. Mia is the sole distributor, and Kay is the vice president, if you will. And they get into chaos, and into a lot of chaos. I mean, Mia has really a short temper. She does a lot of short temper stuff. I mean, there are also really good stuff in it, and also the pages themselves, they look really cute. I do have the first book, and they don't have these doodles around the edges, I would say. Not like when you have the book closed, there's nothing on there, but if you open it, the edges of the page has like a border with some doodles. And if you read the stories and look at those, what is scribbled at the border, then you will realize that the stories actually match what is kind of on the border, like the scribbles match kind of the whole stories bit by bit, like throughout. They're different stories, but it's kind of cute. Okay, zombies, they want contracts. Angels, they plan a new building projects, or like colleagues eat from jam jars. No, colleagues need to be rescued from jam jars. That is actually a really funny story towards the end. Or they have to be put down from ego trips, like egocentric trips. Und dann goes on with, da steht die höllische Hauptverwaltung schnell mal Kopf. So there's a hell public office, I'd say. Like, it's not even that, it's the main management, I'd say. The hell main management. And they are overhead, like, they're over their heads most of the time. So there's chaos. So, and here it says the same what I told you before, that the author Catherine has demonish, I don't know, a demon as a informant named Crowfax, and he actually is the manager for communication. There's really a fun story about that. And a blonde demon in a zebra bikini, and a like a coping machine, like, yeah. I'm not really sure what happened, but I'm kind of confused about that story. It was funny, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of confusing. I mean, how was that woman able to get that job in the first place? I'd say. But yeah. Der liefert, he gives her the information and the documents that she needs to write these stories. Less helpful are his comments regarding the finished stories within the chat from him and the author. I have noted that they are kind of like over the top at any point, so I'm not really sure what the last bit is like. Die manchmal ein wenig ausarten. So I'm not really sure what that is about, because they don't really go south, if you ask me. I mean, they're not like, he's not like, oh, this is complete trash or anything. He's like very moderate, actually. He's like, I think you could have done better. Or give like critics, like, most of the time his critic point is like, why don't I have a bigger role within the story? Or he says like, you managed to get the point, but I kind of expected more, which is like, it's a normal way of critiquing someone about their work. So I'm not really sure what that is about. So this is what I've read. I gave it 4 stars. As I said, it's not really listening, it's more like reading and listening. I changed that part, but because I made it prior to changing it, it seems that it didn't really take over that part. There's no narrator because I don't have an audiobook, so that is free. It is volume 3. It is related to others that I didn't or don't have within the Capacities ecosystem, I'd say. Not really ecosystem, sounds weird. But within the Capacities in the space, I don't have it saved there yet. So, and I feel like I'm fraying my voice. I'm terribly sorry. I hate it when that autos do, so I will try not to do that. Maybe it will help if I actually drink something. So, anyone who is listening, drink. Alright, there's my... Okay, it's almost empty. That is important. You always have to do that at the end when you're drinking. Alright, so we have, for my goals, I already have 1 out of the 3 that I finished. And because I finished this book, I thought of finishing another one. So I'm going to show you here. And it is called Scarlet Rain by Kirsten. Scarlet Rain. And it is by Kirsten Kast, like... Why do I have that on? Ah. I think I wrote it wrong. I have no idea what that is about. Absolutely not. Oh my god. Um, yeah, okay. So Goodread does have it, but yeah. Anyways, so this is the second book of the Escape series. I have no idea if there are others. Oh my god, there are more books than that. I didn't realize there came out more books. Um, the first one, Amber Smoke, I read so quickly through that, and I loved it. It was good. And the second one, I completely forgot why I stopped reading it. Oh, it was published in 2017. Huh, then I couldn't have read it in 2016. So that was probably just some um, random bookmark that I still had, probably from Amber Smoke or so. I don't know. So I bought these fairly close together back then. I think, at least. I'm not truly sure, truth be told. So I started this in maybe 17, shortly after it was published, I think, or 18, 17, 18. And I stopped reading at some point, and I completely forgot why I stopped reading this book. Today, because still not much work at work, I continued reading, and I realized why I stopped reading it. Because it even though it started out good, it became completely boring to me. I don't know why, but it is really boring and gooey. Like, I don't know, it doesn't really capture me as much. And Kirsten Cast is actually the daughter of PC Cast, and I love PC Cast. PC Cast can draw me into a world like no other can. Like, not really true, because I have met other authors that can actually do the same. And not met, but read. And but with this book, she wasn't able to. She wasn't able to draw me in, so that's why I also didn't know there were more to the series than what I already have. And I'm not saying that she's a bad author, because she's not. She wrote together the House of Night series novel with her mother together, and I'm not really sure how much is her and how much is her mother at that point. But she is a good author. I'm not saying it's a bad one. It's just saying that for me, it didn't draw me back in. So again, I stopped reading and I realized why I stopped in the first place with it. It's probably like, I'm not sure if I'm even going to finish it at this point. It's gonna be probably one of the books that I'm not going to finish. Like, the same one would be true for the All He'll Ever Be by V. Winters, which is kind of sad because her marketing, the marketing she does on Instagram, is fabulous. She has a color code about how much deep it is within the dark romance genre. So the deeper the color, the darker the storyline it is. However, with this story, I have no idea what she was thinking about. The storyline itself is interesting. However, how she created the characters and how they develop are so infuriating that it makes it impossible for me to continue reading, because I get so agonized about how shitty the characters are and how unlogical and weird the characters think. It is nonsense, in my opinion. So, what this is about. I get why Beauty fell in love with the Beast, but it doesn't change who Carter is. There's no magical rose or kiss that will turn him into a prince. All Carter Cross will ever be is a beast, a cold-hearted and ruthless mafia king trapped in a castle of his own making. I'm the daughter of his enemy and his new possession, a mafia bargain for war. I thought that's all I was to him, but I was never prepared for the next page of our story. So, that is what's like on the back of the cover. And from going from that, I thought that it would be a really good story because I like mafia stories and this, and I want to dabble into dark romance, but I'm very, very highly specific about the dark romance things that I like. So mine are very specific. I don't um, like the truly mind twisting stuff. And I think that's the truly dark ones. Or the bedridden ones, I don't know. And in this case, it's like Carter kidnaps Arya. I think the name was Arya, her name. And I have no idea why that woman goes from he is a monster because he trapped me in a cell in his house. Literally the DR, like the R thing that I'm not supposed to say, keeps manipulating him and like keeps her Beauty and the Beast worked because all he did was keep her in a castle. He never really tortured her or anything of that sort. He only kept her, if I remember correctly. You can correct me because I only saw the movie like once or twice in my youth, like years ago. I haven't been watching it lately. He didn't really go like torturing and manipulating the woman. He only kept her and made sure she is comfortable in his mind and told her not to do certain things that she completely ignored. That part, of course, does Arya very well, so she kind of captured the beauty, kind of, in terms of he tells her what not to do and she does it anyway. So, but I don't remember the Beast in the original kind of like punishing the girl in that harsh manner that she does. And he is really like shitty, I think, and you can kind of get why he became the way he is. And he names her, or he calls her Songbird. And truth be told, the voice that he remembers from his youth, before being tortured by the father of the Arya, it's not even her voice, it's her mother's voice that went to her father and saying that she is in trouble and to come, and therefore saving Carter because he got away that day and still lives. So he thinks Arya is that person, and in Arya's mind, she's like, oh, he's bad, 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 I want to get away, I want to go back. But at the same page, she calls or like talks about like in her head that she's in love with him. I mean, honestly, all the guy did was trap you in a cell, like in a room, torture, manipulate you, argue, and you call that love? Girl, go get therapy. Truly, get therapy. I mean, okay, if it starts that way, fine. But then, at least in the second book, continue with the progress they had made in the first one. And don't repeat the whole cycle in the second one. And it's not the second one, just like it's the third one too, that's where I stopped. Because all the progress that girl and the guy did or made is kind of like ruined, like magically ruined by some minor thing at the beginning of the next one, and they start the cycle again. It's so freaking annoying. It's not even just like within the books that they repeat this dance, I think, but it's even within the one book they did that. They make progress and then they go back to the beginning. It's like the author didn't really know what to do afterwards. The characters don't have a true development in this whole series that I've read so far, and I don't think they do have that. As I said, it's not the most terrible book in the world, absolutely not. But I can't bring myself to continue reading the book because I hate the main characters. I hate Arya and I hate Carter. I cannot read it because I simply do not like the characters because they're so written, so terribly written in my opinion, that it makes it impossible to continue reading this book. And as I said, her marketing on Instagram is fantastic, and I haven't read more from her since. I'm afraid that it's kind of like the same. um, yeah, but if I hadn't bought the book, like the thick book where all 4 books are within one, I would be terrible. I wouldn't even have bought the third and fourth. Maybe I would have bought the third, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I had bought the third and fourth, truth be told. I might have bought the second to see how it continues, out of curiosity. But even during the second book, I started to not like it. So I don't think I would have bought the third and the fourth if I hadn't had it all in one, the way I have. So, but as I said, her marketing is really awesome. Like, she has this color coding. She also has the same books with different covers, like more in the artsy way, like this one, in an abstract way. But she also has like a comic cover where the characters are drawn in, and real picture ones. Like, you have the book with different covers, and I haven't seen that anywhere, truth be told, to be done. I know that sometimes authors will change the covers, but it's not like the way she does it, where you have one stories and you have different covers to choose to, like, suit your preference, how you like the cover to be, you know. Now, a lot of the times, whether you read a book or not, it truly depends on whether you like the cover or not. At least it's for me like this. So yeah, I really celebrate her for that creativity in terms of marketing and how she does the books. I'm just not a fan of the characters like Carter and Arya. I do like the storyline though. But the character make is impossible for me to continue reading. I mean, it's really, truly horrendous. I don't like the characters. I just can't. I can't bring myself to, like, continue with the storyline, and I'm at Merciless, I think, and then it's Possessive. These are probably other covers from the book itself, but I just can't. Okay, so let's continue the I really like reading the reviews, so I think it's about all 3 of them. Okay, so we have one that says, sorry, but this wasn't romance at all. It was possessiveness, and he was a complete psycho. Nothing sexy about that. Yeah, I don't find him sexy either. Not at all. Also, the whole kneeling to him was stupid. Like, get over yourself already. He was annoying and boring like the whole book. Not going to lie. I'm in page 225 in Kindle, so maybe it gets better. No, it doesn't. But I don't think so. Also, it doesn't give something to look forward to on the book. Like in the beginning, we read about her getting broken down, okay, but then what? She gets what then? I don't even have the reason to read more. And something last, the book was like a Wattpad story, which also I didn't like, and really depressing too. P.S. I'm aware that this book is dark romance, but this is too far in my opinion. Please don't argue. It's okay if you don't agree. I don't really need read answers or comments, especially in these situations. Yeah, I do agree with her on this. It is probably too dark for me. It's probably way too dark for me. Okay, let's see what maybe a good positive review says about the whole thing. With a war between 3 families being imminent, there is bound to be casualties, and in this case, it's no exception, especially when it comes to Cross and Talvari families. This is just some, like, summary or something. Carter Cross has set his eyes on Arya. Oh yeah, her name is truly Arya, so I remember that correctly. And he will not let anything stop him from having her. Oh yeah, and then also she goes like, he can't like find out that it's not her voice that he wants, but her mother's voice. I really don't get it. I mean, she does want to get out of there, wants to get away from him, so that would be a way to tell him, hey, the voice you heard back then was me, I was way too young, I wasn't there, that was my mother, the mother that you killed together with your family. So, yeah. I think it was it was them that killed her off, or it was their own father, I don't know. Someone has tortured as tortured as Arya can. Carter, who doesn't know he can love, they both know and want, but Arya is afraid to love, and Carter hasn't recognized what love is. This is the beginning of war between the cross. Nah, that's not really the beginning. I mean, what the fuck are you writing? All for the love of Arya Tori, Carter's Helen of Troy. That is actually a good reference, but I haven't fully finished the book. And I'm not really sure if Arya truly is Helen of Troy, because I don't think she truly destroys Carter, though. We're plotted, threatening to be shot. One has to wonder if their love for each other... They don't have love, but they have some twisted thought of love. Neither her nor he truly love. Even though, I mean, you're kind of contradicting yourself here. You said that Arya is afraid to love and Carter hasn't recognized the love, so they basically don't really are aware of love. So how can the love of the two of them be like surviving if neither of them has truly like recognized it as such? It doesn't really make sense in my logic. There are a few books that can leave you with so many different emotions. Oh yeah, I've never swirling around you. I have never been this frustrated, annoyed, and whatnot, but I don't think those are the emotions that the author wanted from me. Or he will ever be one of those. As Arya leads of the past and Carter's unwilling to admit his love for her. Also, there's no really fun in the book. Like, sure, there are kind of like sweet moments sprinkled in and there, but if you lay out the spicy scenes within the storyline, there is not much storyline left. The true character building that she did was kind of like, oh no, wait, that was a guy that actually killed her mother, and she killed the guy that killed her mother, I think. Yeah, I think that was it. But it was a guy from their own family, like the mafia family, that did it. And Carter gave him to her, and she killed him, and that was character growth that I could get along with, like regarding what he did before, how she turned out to be, and then her reaction to when she was confronted with it. Simply because he did was kind of in his mind was something like a sweet gesture to hand the murderer of her mother over to her to do whatever she pleased, you know. It was, you could say it's a twisted way of showing kindness, because she was petrified, terrified, and had terrible nightmares because of the guy. So yeah, maybe. But all that growth into something is completely demolished in the next chapter, because she gets self-doubt and kind of reverts back to the way she was before. So any growth she did, it's kind of like, boop, no, back to beginning, because apparently she hasn't learned anything from it. As Arya learns of the past and Carter's unwillingness to admit his love for her, I thought he doesn't know what love is. How can he admit something he doesn't even know? Honestly, it does nothing but tear them apart. As he becomes past is clearer, okay, probably as the past becomes clearer, and enemies are closing in, Arya discovers with heart-pounding realization of what cannot be. Hold on for the ride of your life. I don't know. I wouldn't totally agree with this, the way it is written. Maybe that's how she interpreted the story, which is totally her own. Okay, but here's another one that says DNF at 25%. This is so bad. This was so bad, please. Another one with love, love, love. Then another one with DNF. I'm not really sure which page I am. I'm probably over half. I'm over 50%. So I gave this book a real chance to actually make me want to finish it, but in 2 pages, this man manages to force her to confess her secrets, demand her to tell him more, imply she's lying when she doesn't respond. He leaves her after blaming her for her nightmares and then insults her, telling her she needs to breathe. OMG, no, no, no. I'm all for dark. I'm not into a weak man needing to starve and torture the woman into effing Stockholm Syndrome. A DNF. Yes. And it's not just like in 2 pages where he does it, but he repeats it repeatedly. And I don't know. I'm all for bondage and BDSM and those things. I'm all for it. I like reading those things. But if it's written right. And in this book, it is not. It is not written right, because he has no, even though he has tendencies to it, like the dominant submissive thing, but they don't have a safe word. They don't have a safe word, and that makes it bad. So it's not real good BDSM either in this case. I don't like that. It's a I'm not sure if 50 Shades of Grey has a safe word or anything. I've never read the series. I haven't watched really the movie. I mean, how can you make a movie out of erotica novel? I mean, it would probably be, PORN. Okay. Let's see what they said for the 5-star review. 5 heart-pounding stars, phenomenal storytelling. This book is heart-pounding. Now it's wrenching and dark, and believe it or not, loving. Yeah, I didn't read that out of that. I have no idea what book you read, but oh my gosh. Okay, no. The spice wasn't spicing like I thought it would. Yes, totally agree, and the plot wasn't plotting either. I agree with that. Yeah, I don't know. As I said, I really don't like Arya and Carter's, the characters, not the storyline. However, I do enjoy it, but the rest, I don't like the rest. No. I have never in my life hated a female character more than I hate Arya. Oh my god, my thoughts exactly, Ellie. My thoughts exactly. I think her brain is the size of a pea. Oh my god, these comments are amazing. Finished this the last day of April, but saying no now a DNF, annoying bad writing, gave me the ick, annoying, waste of money, should have stayed on Wattpad. Oof. I mean, I do like the reading what other people say about these, like okay, wait, I think this is more like what let's see. Aura. My mental health is more important than finishing this book. Yes, I totally agree with that, because my brain is kind of like hurting because, as I said, I can't. I got halfway through book 2 of the 4-in-1 book, and it's just no. It romanticizes Stockholm Syndrome badly too. With as far as I got, first Arya's kidnapped and then held prisoner, and Carter, the second protagonist, is hell-bent on breaking her. I really don't know why he would want to break her. If he really is into her, why do you want to break her mind? I mean, it's okay if you say you kidnap her to kind of like keep her out of the war and keep her safe because you're infatuated with her. That part I can get behind. But why does he want to break her fucking mind? I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. Is he into her or is he not into her? And if he's not, which I would suggest, because apparently he doesn't even like her the way she is. I mean, why else would you want someone to change this drastically? I mean, just what? He doesn't even really know her. I mean, they have never really spent time with her. He's just obsessed with her. I really don't get this. It's not just Stockholm syndrome. I mean, I think he was watching her. So he's basically a stalker too, kind of. I don't know. I mean, gee, something is terribly wrong with the character building in it of itself. Eventually gets her to follow him, gives her a little sliver of the freedom she'd have if she just obeyed him from the start, and then F's her. Like, there was no consent, it was taken, and consent out of fear isn't consent at all. Agreed. Period. Meanwhile, she's living her life out now entirely ruled by fear, true, doing as he commands, sometimes denying him and being met with punishments. This is the domination submission part, and in his mind it's breaking her. It truly does break her mind in a way, but no. Him drilling it into her head that she needs to fear him. I mean, why do you want the person you're infatuated with to fear you? I don't know. And not fear as in respect, instead as in being effed afraid of him. Of course, she falls madly effing in love with him as a side effect to trying to survive Stockholm Syndrome, and loses the fight within her, and he's just psychopathically obsessed with making sure that she belongs to him and only him, and it sounds like it goes as far as to try to manipulate her every thought toward him, her every waking breath in the longing of him. She's her prisoner while he goes on to to off her family. Whether or not that's successful, I won't know. He doesn't give a F about the fact he will be murdering everyone she loves and cares for and still expect her to be madly in love with him. Yeah, that's the plot that I don't get. Why would a normal person, which she at the beginning of the book kind of is, want to love the murderer of her family? The one that she values and loves, as it's written here. So that's also the part that I don't get. And want him every second of the day. I mean, at some point you just want to be alone. I mean, you can ask married people and even they will tell you, hey, I do have times when I want to be alone and nobody, like, no. I mean, sometimes you just want to be alone. Like, not alone, but you just need time to yourself, to be yourself, because sometimes you change yourself. I mean, no. Of course, there's almost sex in every chapter. There is sex in every chapter. That's to be expected of a romance novel. No, it's not. But okay. But the fact that this author writes about Stockholm like it's... Hi, Satan Just. How are you? Alright, so we are talking about All He Will Ever Be. I'm not sure if you have heard of the book itself, even though I'm shredding it kind of, but it is really badly written. But the author itself is really cute. I leave her that, and her marketing is good too. So, yeah. Never heard of it. Okay, it's by W. Winters, Willow Winters. I think it's on Instagram. And she writes all sorts of romance novels. This is the only one I've read so far, and I'm not going to finish it for certain reasons. It's not really well written. I don't know if you know, like, have you ever had a book where you can't stand the main characters? Like, truly cannot stand them, and because the whole book is about them, you can't really enjoy the story plot. Like, have you ever had that? I had never had that. It's the first book I ever had that. Where I was like, I don't like the characters. It was always like, I don't like the plot, but I never had the, I don't like the characters, and can't read the plot even though the plot is interesting to me. So, okay, so let's continue with this. This is a review. I like reading the reviews of books and other things. Like, it gives me an kind of like an picture of what I might have to expect. It also kind of spoils things, but I don't always agree with the reviews that I read. I just want to have a heads up with what other people might think and whether the book is good for me before I buy it. I think that a lot of people do that with other stuff too. Usually I like or dislike the plot, but I remember reading Ice and Fire, and there were chapters with POV characters I really enjoyed and characters I found rather boring. Yeah, also, have you noticed that the changing of point of view has become really popular? And sometimes I wonder, aren't there any books where the point of view doesn't change? Because some are better with the changing of point of views, like that you know the point of view has changed, and others are like just switching between the characters, and you're like, what character am I right now? Yeah, but usually it's like whether you like the plot or not. But the character truly was a first for me. But Fire and Ice, like von K.F. Bream, the Fire and Ice series, is that it? Because I read those too, if it's that serious, from K.F. Bream, with Reagan and Darius, the vampire. I love Reagan in that series. She's funny. I mean, she has a character development on a, like, truly. A Song of Ice and Fire, also known as Games of Thrones. No, I have, I haven't watched or read the series. So that's, but I heard there were good ones in there. Like, the series was good until the last season because they apparently completely ruined and rushed the season itself. Okay, so the first books are really great. Also, the show started good. Yeah, I heard that. I heard it was exceedingly good and well received by the public, but the last season must have completely ruined the whole thing. So, right. Also, there's a lot of sex in these chapters. Like, if you take out the sex scenes in this book, it doesn't have really much substance left. Truly, if you take all those scenes out, the book would, instead of four, it would be only one book because the substance is so little. Then again, I read it between 2003 and 2006, roundabout. So I'm not sure if I would enjoy it nowadays. Yeah, it really changes. When I was younger, I did read more German books, and nowadays I find it weird reading German books, even though it's my mother tongue, because the most things I'm reading currently is in English. I read in English, I listen in English, like podcasts and stuff like that, but in German's hardly ever, and English is only my second language. I explained at the beginning of the stream that for me, translating something from German to English is hard, even though I'm really good at English. Because in my mind, I don't translate when I talk English, I just talk English. Like I talk in German, I don't think about it, I just do. So translating is really hard in my mind because I don't know, it's like because of all the years that I've been listening to and reading in English, it's kind of like it became a second mother tongue, even though I'm nowhere near someone that has English as a mother tongue. But yeah, that is really hard for me sometimes with the translations. Even though I know a lot in English and I write a lot in English and I use a lot of the language in the language throughout the day. German is also my mother tongue. Hey, another German! But I haven't read as much German novels, some fantasy novels by Holbein. Holbein, don't think I have read anything from him. When I grew up, oder Die unendliche Geschichte. Truth be told, I only saw the movie once and I've never read the story. I don't know. I've never read it. But I am interested in reading Shakespeare lately. Not because of Taylor Swift, of course not. Nah, because of a friend of mine. He loves Shakespeare too. And, while wie hieß der mit Vornamen? Wild something. I don't remember the first name. Also a writer, and he wants to like have really really old books about him from him because of the way he writes and his annotations in the stories and stuff like that. So he's really into it. Also has a book published. It's called The Games We Used to Play. It plays in the 1800s. It's fabulous. I mean, I know how you can get like frustrated with the characters, like really frustrated with the characters because they just can't get to the point where you want them to be, like together. And I was so frustrated. But at the end, they kind of resolve themselves. They have a growth, like the characters grow. And they don't revert back to their old habits. Like, they don't grow and then go back to the starting point, like in this story. Yeah, Shakespeare is difficult, so I'm probably gonna hit him up a ton of time and ask him to explain stuff to me. Because I just don't know. But I think if I work through Shakespeare, I might improve even further my English, which I'm always into, improving it, because it's fun for me to learn and use. I also sometimes play around with the, with the accent. I try British accent, but I fail. It's probably like a German trying to speak the British accent with, like, in German. I'm not sure if that's even possible, like, using the German language and then having, like, speak in a British accent. Is that even possible? I have absolutely no idea. Did he? Huh. Okay, so Shakespeare created a lot of English words, I think, which are common today. So that is interesting. I never thought about it. Like I don't. I mean, we did go through Romeo and Juliet, but Juliet and Romeo. You know that one. Not sure which way it is. And but we watched the movie. Okay, I'll let you check. So I kind of finish up this review because this review kind of writes down what I think about the book. But the fact that this author writes about Stockholm like it's a effing joke, putting a crown of lust over it to idolize being terrified of a person but having no choice but to be their personal F-toy, and no freedom or sense of self. Having survived it myself, this is effing sick to read, and anyone who 3 to 5 stars this shit and enjoys it needs to be put in a bloody psych ward and analyzed, because that's just effed up. To romanticize fear and terror and doing anything to survive, even if it goes against everything you know, but knowing no other way out. Being held prisoner against your own will, forced proximity, clothes being picked out for you, obeying every single damn command from someone who thinks he's a god in his own made-up mind or world. Sorry about my rant. I'm angry with this book because unfortunate reality is that I was able to walk away and save myself. A lot of people do not get out of Stockholm Syndrome alive. And this is a MF disgrace being rubbed in their faces, and for anyone who likes this, go see a effing doctor. Wow. Very harsh words, I'd say, at the end, but it does kind of summarize what I think about the book very well. It's not a good book. As I said, the plot itself might have been a good start, but she completely ruined it. Okay, so you checked. William Shakespeare is credited with coining or popularizing hundreds of English words and phrases that are still used today. He had 10 common English words that originated or were first recorded in his works as a nation. What? Really? Oh my god. Macbeth bathroom, A Midsummer Night's Dream, lonely. Coriolanus Swagger. I'm not really sure if I said the first word right. A Midnight Summer Dream Addiction Othello. Oh. Hype words again. Assassin, bedroom, lovely swagger addiction. Bedroom is a word he created, like a description for the bedroom. Like, really? That wasn't a common word back then? Jesus. I had no idea that so many words were created in that time. I really have to get into my Shakespeare thing. Let's see what it's all about. Alright, because this kind of is a bit also about like BDSM, like bonded, like mostly submission and dominance, I'll show one that's better than this word. And that's the No Shame series. No Shame, so let's see where it is. No Filter, No Shame, here it is. Okay, the No Shame series is actually a really good one by Nora Phoenix. It's really cool. Okay, the complete series, let's go there. The word bedroom is often attributed to Shakespeare, but there's no solid evidence that he actually coined it. The earliest known use of bedroom in English appears slightly after Shakespeare's time, around the early 16th, and it may have simply emerged naturally as a compound of bed plus room rather than being invented by him. Yeah, that could also be. A lot of words are kind of like that, even in German, like Flugzeug. I don't know how. Have you noticed how many words actually have the word Zeug at the end? It's interesting. I think it has so many because no one knew how to end the word, so they simply put Zeug at the end. Oder like, es ist wie wenn du sagst hier das Ding und der Ding das, weißt du? Also ich habe das Ding gesehen, welches dort an dem Ding hing und ja, das Ding ist einfach nur geil. Aber ich meine das andere Ding in dem Ding. Also I think it's probably like that. Mit Zeug. Alright. Anyways, No Shame is actually a really good one. I enjoyed it. I love it. So if you do want to have a good one about like spicy, kind of like BDSM, romance, mirror romance, if you're into something like that, it is a really good one, and it has a good side plot, and it is also about mobsters. Like, it truly is. It does have really icky things in there, but it is a good written one. I truly enjoyed it. So this is a really good book if you're into kind of like a little bit of a dark stuff. I wouldn't say the stuff itself is dark romance, but it has the dark elements to it. So this is about Indy. Indy is on the run from his mobster ex when he meets Noah and Josh and starts on the journey that will bring him love and a chosen family. This box set contains all 5 books and includes No Filter, No Limits, No Fear, No Shame, and No Angel, bonus chapters, and deleted scenes, which are really funny. And I totally agree, it is a steamy series, has puppy play, daddy king, manage, mild BDSM, and an uncontroversial poly relationship that defines the descriptions. If you love stories that combine smoochy MM romance with a dash of suspense, a bit of kink, and all the feels of, you will fall in love with Indy and his chosen family. It is truly like, yeah, it's awesome. It's truly awesome. I can only recommend this book. It's a good book. So Nora Phoenix actually writes really good books. I think I have another book of hers. Let me check. I think I do. So, wait. Doop-de-doop-de-doom. Nora Phoenix. Where do I have her? Nicole Poe. KF Brain. Well, why don't I have her? Wait, don't tell me I haven't put her in yet. Sometimes data gets lost, which is weird. So let's go to No Shame. I'm pretty sure I did it. Okay, the No Shame series here. Yeah, she is in there, Nora Phoenix. I thought I had already corrected this mistake here, but okay. Okay, this is no shame. I really like this series. Die letzte Karre war es. Huh? Die letzte Karre? Oh yeah! I completely missed it. But okay, I have it now. So this is no shame series, and I have reviewed like stuff on it on all those. But yeah, in the first book it is about Indy and how he falls in love with Noah and Josh. I mean, I don't want to spoil it. It's a really good one. But it is really like you have a lot of smoochy scenes, but even if you didn't have those smoochy scenes, you would still have substance. Maybe not as much because there are a lot of smoochy scenes, but you will have substance from the storyline itself, the plot that Indy is on a run, is hiding, being followed, and is a complete danger from his past, is being helped, and then having to overcome his past and fighting to the point that he has to fight his past to protect his current friends and family. He mainly views it as family. And also, it is very obvious that the whole structure that is built throughout these whole books, they're really coherent. The whole structure wouldn't be possible without Indy. If Indy weren't there, this whole poly relationship thing they have going on with each other, like it's really a poly thing. It wouldn't work. Without Indy, it wouldn't work, and it is very, very obvious. And you have true character growth within this whole story itself. Indy grows, Josh and Noah grow, they all grow, and Connor as a police officer also is within the first book and in the second. And yeah, it's really obvious that they grow and they don't revert back. They're really, really good. And this is a good way, like if one is interested in BDSM and stuff like that, this is actually, in my mind, a good way to get a picture of what a healthy relationship of that looks like, because not what W. Winters wrote. No, that's not healthy. That's a completely unhealthy point of view, as the comments said, some of them. And I'm not going to finish it. Also, I asked my friend that wrote the games we used to play. There's also a German version for it. If he could rewrite the story, because if he had the same plot, it would actually be good, because he is that good with writing. Okay, here it is. The games we used to play. Don't tell me I don't have a book cover on this. I thought I had a cover on this. I'm pretty sure I had a cover on this. Probably one of the first that I actually put in. More data lost. More. Alright. The games we used to play is actually a really good one. If I'm still online, I might not. But if I am, I'll be happy to have you back. See you later, Saint. So let's talk about the games we used to play, even though I have already talked about it on my channel. So, games we used to play is by David Chimness, and it's about Luca Callahan and Blake Grimshaw. Couldn't be more different, even if they tried. The former is a lord, heir to the Belvic dukedom and a member of the royal guard, while the latter is the leader of the Black Fern Syndicate and a last known magic user. But when England is threatened to be destroyed by tsunamis, earthquakes, and other catastrophes caused by magic, the captain of the guard sees no other choice but to assign them to solve the case together. Little does anyone know that they have quite a bit of history together that they will be forced to work through if they hope to be successful. While only time will tell if the strategy is able to repair what had been broken years ago, or perhaps it will turn out that they had always been destined to destroy each other. A story about friendship, love, regret, magic, and most importantly, a raccoon. It is the raccoon. The raccoon's name is actually Shakespeare, which is so cool. William Shakespeare. This is such a freaking cool thing. But it's a really cool one. I really like it. I really don't know why there's no review, but I have to... Oh no, I don't have it anymore. I deleted WhatsApp, so I don't have the thoughts that I had and sent him through it. Damn it! I should have sent them here. I could have done it, because that's a feature of Capacities that you can send yourself messengers through it and save them in Capacities. It also works with Telegram, email, and was it something else? And the clip thing they have here with this, it also works. So yeah, it's a really good one. So let's get the picture, because I'm kind of sad that I don't have a picture yet. Oh my god, I have to read the reviews. Okay, it has 5 reviews. Okay, so anyways, let's get the grab the picture, because I need it. Alright, there it is. Copiering. Okay, so now we have the picture again. And let's see what the ratings say. And I admit I am biased because it's a friend of mine. I'm not holding that up or anything. I am completely and utterly biased. Okay, let's go with the first one. Okay, where should I begin? Because I could probably talk hours about this book. Yeah, me too. Me too. Even though it's, in my opinion, both plot and character driven, which I absolutely love, I'm going to talk about the characters a lot. So be prepared. I absolutely love the dynamics between the main characters, even though I sometimes felt the urge to shake and scream at them. Me too, girl. Or boy. Cora girl. Me too. In the most lovely way, of course. Of course. Even though they sometimes acted in ways that, for me, are morally wrong, I almost always understood their unfulfilled needs behind their behavior, which I think was one of the reasons why I could still... okay, it doesn't really show more than this, because there seems to be more, but it doesn't show more. Okay, this is by AJ. Okay, this isn't showing. I'm not translating it. Based on the blurb, I'm going to assume our hero hooked up with the mob boss, and I'm here for it. Okay, this is a 5-star rating, that's all there is. Okay, Read by Heart says, in this book we meet Luca, Callahan, and Blake Grimshaw, 2 very different folks, from a big job ahead. Luca is like a royal guy, and Blake is the leader of a magic gang. Nah, it's not really a magic gang, it's more like a mafia gang. They have a history, and as they try to fix the magical mess we find out about their past, it's like a puzzle they need to solve. In England faces magical disasters, they're teamed up, and secrets from their shared past start to surface. The author skillfully explores not just the external dangers, but also their inner struggles that the characters face. Readers accompany them to explore mysteries of magic and discover the way of salvation for themselves. The author's description of friendliness and love is intertwined with the impending doom, makes the story even deeper. The pacing is well managed, keeping readers on the edge of their seats. Oh yeah, totally. That totally is true. As the protagonists navigate the intricate web of magic and personal history. The story is like a magical roller coaster for friendship, love, and looking back at things we wish we could change. There's also a surprise star, a raccoon. Yeah, this furry friend adds laughter and charm to the already exciting plot. This seemingly ordinary creature becomes a symbol of the extraordinary events unfolding, adding a unique and delightful element to the story. Yes. In a nutshell, this book is a beautiful mix of magic, mystery, and the kind of friendship that can stand up to anything. Author leaves us eagerly waiting for the next chapter, hoping our heroes find the magic they need to stay together. I highly recommend this book to readers who enjoy magical adventures intertwined with friendship, love, and a touch of mystery. I couldn't have said it any better. I could not have said it any better. I admit that. I could not have. So, this is a really good one. I love this review. Okay, next one is... okay, so this is a 4-star rating. I'm not sure where the 1-star rating is, though, because it seems to be something like... It doesn't really display all of them. Are there filters on it? Alright, so I'm not really sure why the others aren't shown. Maybe they didn't write anything and just did the stars? Okay, well, let me start off by saying that I have never been interested in historical romance. Yeah, me neither, baby. Me neither. But boy, did this blow me away. The pining and longing and regret was woven beautifully into this somewhat fantasy-fueled history plotline. I love Blake and Luca. However, Shakespeare has my number one and my favorite chapter was his bonus. Yeah, the bonus chapter is really awesome. It's from the point of view of Shakespeare. And yeah, Shakespeare kind of is like, oh, these are so dumb. Why haven't they figured it out yet? I could have told you. Because he figured out the problem way before the main characters did. And he's really cool and cute. And Luca mixes him up with a cat at the beginning, and he's like, oh, look, Blake, I found a cat. And Blake is like, that's not a cat. Of course it is. And then Blake is like, no, that's a raccoon. Is raccoon a type of or breed of cat? And he was like, no, it's a raccoon. It shouldn't even be in London. It's not native to London. It's a freaking raccoon. It could have rabies. And Luca is like half crying, like, but if we put him out again, he will die. And Blake can't say no to Luca. He can absolutely not say no to Luca. And it's the cutest scene ever when Luca shows up with this raccoon in his arms, all frozen because it was freaking cold in the winter. And he is really sensitive to cold, which kind of makes him really cling to Blake, because Blake has a flame, like he's really hot, and keeps him warm. And then he comes up and like, I found a cat. And Blake's reaction like, no, that's a fucking raccoon. I mean, this is just freaking awesome. It's such a cute freaking moment between the two of them. It's just amazing. These are the stories I want to read. So cutesy one. But I know that he's currently writing a story that I might read or might not read, because I'm not sure if I can handle it with my mind. I mean, I don't like too dark things. But he probably has so much fun sprinkled into it that you kind of want to read the fun parts. But yeah, it's a really lovely book, so please read it, enjoy it. I have to reread it so that I can make a really, really long my review part down here. And oh my god, I read it within a week, I think, when I started it. Yeah, I think I read it in a week when I finally went and read it, because I'm not into historical stuff. So I didn't read it at first, even though I had it. And then when I read it, I was like, oh, I did not read it earlier. I was really mad at myself for not reading it earlier. But yeah, since then I have been into reading the books he actually recommends to me, which makes me wonder why I haven't put in that he actually recommended this book. Because yeah, I totally did. He did recommend me this book, and it is absolutely fabulous. It's interesting. I'm not that far ahead in reading it, but it is good. He actually, as I said, he recommended this book, but he also recommended me other books. He recommended Under Your Skin, Okay, this one. He did recommend it, so I will add him. Oh, I already did with this one. Okay. And the reviews for this book were mixed. And they said some like the later half didn't make sense to them, but I didn't really feel that when reading it. I found it very coherent with the characters and their growth. Truth be told, I don't know. And one said that the Polati smoochy scene was really weird. Truth be told, it wasn't that bad. From the way they wrote it, I thought it was worse, and it would come up more often, even though it was just one scene. So really not sure why they pointed it out like it's like the later half, or maybe I just misunderstood them, which could also be. But it is a good one. I really like it. And as you can see, I finished pretty quickly. I didn't read it. I had an audiobook, and an audiobook I'm quicker than reading. So, yeah, because the audiobook, I sometimes, if I can, like, I have work that I sometimes have to be like, have headphones on, so I can't really listen to an audiobook. But if I do other stuff at work, I can totally have on an audiobook and do my stuff without problems. So, that is okay. But yeah, that makes me also go through audiobooks like crazy, absolutely crazy. So that is something that he recommended to me. What else was it? Wait, let's see. Like, show me all of them. That's the one that I recommended to him. Oh yeah, here, the series. He also recommended to me the Necessary Evil series. I have to admit that I like the first 4 books. I really enjoyed them, and then the last books I did not enjoy them at all. I mean, the whole book that I didn't like at all was book 6, Lunatic. The first 5 books I liked. I did not like Lunatic. This is the book 5, 6. Books 6 and 7 I did not like. In the first 5 I did really like, if I remember correctly, yes. The first 5 books I really liked and enjoyed of this series, but the last 2 I didn't like at all. And also, like, aren't these the same people, like persons? I'm confused. Okay, but okay. From the way the one character is described, I mean, I don't know. This is not the way I would have thought of them looking so much alike. The others are kind of like more representative of the characters that are described, especially these two. These are twins. But these two aren't twins, so they shouldn't be looking this much alike. But okay, it's what it is. It's just a cover. So this series, I wouldn't say it's the worst series I ever read. Absolutely not. It's a good one, especially the first 5. I just don't agree with book 6 and how it is handled throughout the last 2 books between these 2 characters. This one is the character like Archer. I don't like his plot. I don't like his twist. I really don't like it. I expected something completely different. So it's more like an expectation versus reality stuff. And also how it is, I just don't agree with what he did. And because I don't agree what he did, I don't agree with what Thomas Melville did. And he kind of did have a improvement in terms of change of mind and seeing his flaws. That's why he got 4 stars out of 5, and the other one only did 3, because there is no real apology or feeling like Archer doesn't really see him doing something wrong, truly. As I said, these 2 are just like, not my thing, not my thing. I mean, it's not like it's the worst book you will ever read. It is still good, but I just don't agree with how the storyline went. It's more like a plot thing than a character thing, I think. Yeah. Okay, so to go by like what other stuff I have in here, there's one more thing I want to kind of like tell you about. Also, maybe two. Let's go with two. This one, Adopt a Vampire. It's by A.J. Sherwood, and it's a really cute, funny story. It has nothing with dark romance to do or anything like that. It's a really truly fantasy vampire, werewolf, witches thing. Like, let's actually put that up in the tags. Werewolves, fantasy, paranormal, funny, funny. Okay. Magic. Witches. Okay, so that's the tag that we don't have yet. What others would that thing add? Family, adoption, and romance. Okay. Oh yeah, and I want my tag for male romance in the... Oh no, not Kama song. I want MM romance. Okay. It's about a newly turned vampire, Jesse Hunt. I'm not sure how Vida 6 years is still newly turned, but apparently for them it is. A newly turned vampire, Jesse Hunt, has been spotted by two werewolves. Should he A. Run, 2. Fight, 3. Ask for noms? Whatever noms are. I think I need to kind of like Google this. What are noms? Can I translate this? Translate to... Yeah, translate the noms to German. I have really no idea. One action. Nam. Noms? Nam? Okay. Ask for names. Why not ask for names here? So I will rewrite this so that I know what he means. Barrett Walker, author of the local pack, has two options upon meeting the staff, but sweet Jesse, should he A. hand him over to the local vampire clan, B. adopt him? Barrett's in favor of adoption, but can adoption include smoochy bite times 2? Text. Who's on shipbuilding to this time? Coconut water is banned. Eating shouldn't be this complicated. Jesse.X is constantly crashing. Werewolves caught differently than vampires. Who knew? Unholy trifecta. Crossover. Ross crossover. Cinnamon rolls deserve all the love. Hacker besties. Full moon shenanigans. Found family for the win. Pillow gifts make me squee. Okay. It's a really sweet chocolate cake, I think. It's the sweetest, most delicious candy you have ever eaten in a book. That's how I would describe it. The sweetest, most delicious candy in a book. I will write that down because that's the best description ever. Oh, there's a mistake. Okay, this is the sweetest candy you've ever eaten as a book. Then let's make it more like a highlight, like to really like give it a version that it is like I don't have any hearts. I miswrote heart. There are hearts, like pretty sure there are icons like this, like okay, like this. And let's put it up here because this is the most important part about this whole review that I wrote. It's not long. But it's a really good one. I mean, if you want something really sweet and just relaxing, like, because you need something good for your soul, this is totally, utterly, completely soothing for the soul. Definitely soothing for the soul. So I would totally recommend this one. I mean, I know I realized that this is kind of completely a book talk and nothing more like what I actually wrote in the title. I will have to rewrite the title. Alright, let's do that. Let's rewrite the title. Okay, so now we've changed it. Now it's more fitting. Okay, so yeah, this is a really, really, really good one. I love this book. I'm really tempted to actually reread it. I mean, it's cute as hell. It's really cute as hell. I'm so glad I bought it. And let's end with this. The Night Prince, written by Right Rain. Right Rain has her own website where she weekly puts up stories, different ones, and I'm also gonna show you like don't think I'm going to be logged in though, but I'm not going to log in then. I'm just going to show you. This is the web page of Right Rain. I'm still waiting for my Everdark Kickstarter. I will have to check up on Kickstarter. Actually, I have been ignoring it for quite some time. And hope I didn't miss anything important. Anyways, so she has a ton, I mean a ton of stories on this website. There are certain parts of this website that you can actually visit for free. You can also read stories for free. I know that the Everdark, I think the first 5 chapters are free to read. And then, no, Everdark is not free. I thought it was free. I thought it was, but apparently not. So don't, yeah. Let me convert to you like. And Everdark, however, is on Spotify if you want to listen to it. So, but on Spotify there are no smoochy scenes in the Everdark storyline. So, just so you know. And the whole thing, this is King Daemon. He's one of the main characters. He's one of the ancient one. Then we have Julian Harrow, another main character. Then we have also like, okay, these are the bloodlines. Okay, so the others, where are the others? Okay, Julia, okay, Christian and Balthasar were further down, so I'm not really sure we can actually view them. And it's about vampires. I really like vampire stories, and it's an exceedingly good one. And as I said, she published it she published something every single day. Okay, sometimes life gets in between or something happens and there is not, it's not coming up, and she will write a newsletter that something is maybe moved or something else. But this is the calendar. She does this full time. And these are the stories that are currently worked on. You have in certain order like things that are always coming on the same day, as you see here. So the Night Prince always comes on Saturday, and that is the audio of it, I think. I'm not really sure which one is the audio and which one is the written part. Because I think it's kind of like on a similar type, like I think they're coming at the same time, but I'm not 100% sure if they do come at the same time. Everdark War Child is about is within the Everdark atmosphere. Equinox, I am not sure why she chose something no one can pronounce. At least I can't. Something more easily to pronounce would be nice. But it's the 3rd season of Everdark. It starts with Everdark, continues with Everdark Academy, where we are getting the podcast written by professional voice actors. The same ones like the first one that you can actually listen to on Spotify. And the third season is Equinox, whatever reason. And I have, the Kickstarter was about the first season, Everdark. And I fell so incredibly in love with Everdark. You wouldn't, no, you can't understand. I fell so hard about it. The storyline, I mean, it's about vampires, and they come from a different world. In this world, we have a blue and a red moon, and it's always night. And they make portals. At least some of them can make portals, and they make portals to the to Earth, like because they need the blood, the human blood, to drink. Like that part is the same. And there are 10. Wait, let me go back. That I don't call out, like do misservice by doing it wrong. We have the bloodlines. The bloodlines all have a what's it called? Oh, I completely forgot. Dang it. I'm throwing a fucking blank. As I said, Vampire King is at least, he is the king. He has all the power. All powers in one, and one power to end them all. That is Daemon, the king. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 others that are like gods. They are like gods. There's a religion that also views them as gods. But they're not truly gods. They are the oh god, I really draw a blank here. But they are the originals. Yeah, I think it was something like that. They are the war vampire, like the original vampire. And they have different, they're kind of like families. The Eros, the Asher, the Horus, the Siren, the Varen, the Kali, the Helm, the Seer, the Mirror, the Viren. They're all kind of like families, and each of them have a specific power to them. And Daemon, the king, has all of them. And an additional one no one else has. I'm not going to spoil this part though. Even though I know what it is, I'm not going to spoil it. So Eris and Asher, Eris is mind control. Like these powers they have are usually things that in other stories all vampires have. The vampires usually have all of them. In this, it's specific to each original vampire. I really forgot what they are called. Damn it! I get it. I get it. So Eris is mind control. Asher is moving things with the mind. So telekinesis. Horus is control the weather. Siren is music. So he they sing or hum a melody to influence others. The Varen are your usual werewolf and like shapeshifters. You know, like some vampires have the ability to shift into certain animals like bats or a flock of birds and stuff like that, and this is like Varen. Then you have the Kali, raise the dead, so they are like all about corpses, like they can, as it says, raise the dead, and they know a lot. They are driven by knowledge, which can be good and bad. Then there are the Helm, they turn unseen, like they get invisible, and they are also like thieves. They love shiny things. I would say they're like dragons. Then we have the Seer. Seer is see past, present, and future. It's the family or clan, I'd say, the bloodline that is the least thickened, because not every person is capable of handling something like this. And it is, they never were thickened like Varen or the other bloodlines, like also Eris. Eris is also has a big collection of children underneath him. Then we have the mirror. Assume any shape, and there's more to it than just shape shifting. Like they can like become a different person, and they're mirroring what they see, which is really cool. And a lot of times they don't even. I'm not really sure if, but they if they shift back and forth too many times, they kind of lose how they looked before, I think. But the mirror isn't really well known yet, so there's still mystery about this. Then there are the Vivan. The Vivan are teleportation, and they can teleport everywhere, and Vivan itself created the portals to the Earth so that they can travel between them and actually have humans like as food or even as like children, because only like children can be made from humans. They can't create them otherwise. That is also similar to other vampire stories you might have heard. So this is also something that stayed the same. But I feel the story around it, the world that Rifein built, is very interesting. Like it's a really good world building, and I can understand her going further because the story, even if you finished the Everdark, you kind of feel like it's not finished. You could feel it if she would simply stop writing the story. So at some point somewhere she said there would be 4 seasons. I will call them seasons because otherwise I don't know how the others say it. But there will be 4 seasons, and we are season 3. I'm not sure if they're going to be more than 4, but there are currently 3. But Everdark Academy as second, and the third is this Equinix. I don't know. It's a weird thing. Equali, whatever. No, but this is E thing. Everdark Equinox. Yeah. Please let the 4th Everdark be something that I can actually pronounce. But you have this story manga section here, up here, and you can actually see the stories she has, and you can go through those. Another story that is online and you can actually listen to and has or is being re-recorded by the actors from Everdark is Dragon's Reign. I started with Dragon's Reign on Spotify actually. That's how I found Rifein, and also how I found her as Ex Artare, where she also kind of like published books on Kindle, like Cursed. Cursed is on Kindle if you want to read it. If you have unlimited on Kindle, Cursed by X, like an X and an Artare, then you could find her there and read her. And when I had a trial version or like for Kindle, I was only reading her, so I simply said, why pay for Kindle if I'm only reading her? I could pay her itself. So she has a membership, and if we wait until December, January, she's probably gonna have a Christmas sale, 50% off. And then you can get a yearly, quarterly, or monthly membership in there. And she also has a trial membership going on. It's just, I think it's a month. I'm not really sure. Let me see what's on it. Yeah, you have a monthly basis, you have a quarterly basis, a semi-annual, so it's 6 months, and then you have a yearly, and currently it's even 50% off. It's a winter sale coupon. She usually makes sure it's really long. Not really sure how long this is going to go. In order to be a member, you must be at least 18 years old. Yes, there's Smoochie Scene, so be 18. Have either a valid credit card, PayPal account, or bank account. However, the good news is that all billing is discreet. All it will say is Rifein on your bill, so it won't say more than this. So then you can also a story for free. Can get it here if you want it. A membership displays only way to read everything on Rifein. This includes over 29 completed story plus 5,000 words every month. That's the same length as your average novel. In addition, there's also a full library of manga and collection and short stories. So you really have a lot that you can get through to. I haven't even read everything. I would have to continue with the Dark Earth. I'm not even this far yet. Jeez, I have been living it off for like quite some time. Date of Vampire, I started this one. And The Werewolf Next Door, I need to finish that one. It seems there's only one thing. With the mangas, it's like you have one page at a certain thing. So you get one page and the next week you get the second page and stuff like that. So that I don't read it at like on a weekly basis. I only read it like when it's kind of like full. I wait a while. But it's also something that I do with other things. Then you have Sanctuary 1 and 2, which Sanctuary is actually called The Vampires Club in the book she wrote. Vampires Club aren't on here. This is Sanctuary. I'm not sure why this is differently titled, but on Kindle it's The Vampire Club. Then you have The Sea, short stories, Tidebound, Valkyrie, The Wicked Path, Winter Haven Country Club, The Hunt, Labyrinth, The Lightless, The Merman 2, The Night Prince, that's what I am listening to right now, which is something that she is reading currently. I think maybe at some point The Night Prince will be voiced by the voice actors she usually works with. The Pact 1 and 2, Price for Passage. The Elven King's Blade, I read that. Empires of Start, I started reading and then I completely lost where I stopped, so I probably have to reread it. There are podcasts on YouTube without the smoochy scenes that are in there, but if you want to get a feel on it, she's also on YouTube. You can actually hear a lot there too, and that is completely free if you wish. Then you have the Earl King, Everdark I have read, Everdark Academy I've read, Everdark Economics I need to continue or start actually. The Fell, The Ghost Half, Ghost 1 and 2, then The Abyss 1 and 2, The Artifact, Birthright, Crimson Cursed I have read, The Dark Earth 1 and 2, The Drakening and Dragon's Reign I also read and also listened to, and Drakon. Drakon I haven't read yet. I mean, there are so many that I haven't read yet, but Cursed is a really, really cute one. I want these books. I probably need to shop a little bit in her books. I mean, she also has a shop, her own shop, like Dragon's Reign shop, if you're interested. Oh, it has been reworked. It looks completely different now. These are the books that are actually like for sale, that are Kickstarter versions, I think. Yeah, you also have the mugs and stickers that you could get. Keep Calm and Vampire On. Then you have Everdark Journal, posters and things like that. So audiobooks, ebooks, and paperbacks. If you have her, like, if you're if you have a membership, you usually get a discount for these books. And yeah, like, see, you can get these if you wish to. Dark Earth. I need to finish this one. It seems like a lot has come out yet. There are a lot of things that need to be like. Oh, it's through WordPress. I haven't realized that. So, okay, that one can close. Okay, now we are back. So I have a lot of things, and as I said, new stuff is coming out all the time, so you're not kind of like left hanging. And you can also kind of write. You can actually leave your thoughts on the chapter and everything, and she loves the interaction with her audience and sometimes model stuff accordingly. With Dragon's Reign, actually the whole dragons and what they can and can't do were done with the audience together and created together, and that's something that you don't always have with an author. So this is a really unique something that I haven't seen from others yet, so it's really fun to be a member here. So if you're actually interested, I'd highly suggest. They're really good and well written. She has a lot of experience. This is the library, so if you're kind of like into certain things, you can go through here and it will show you the books that would be a thing. So this is Cursed, a modern retelling of Beauty and the Beast, and a better version than All He Will Ever Be, truth be told. This is truly a better version than All He Will Ever Be, and it's a really good one. I really love this one. So I'm not really against retelling stuff, but at least do it well. Please do it well. So I might read another book from W. Winters, but probably not. So with that being said, I think, because I've been talking for about 2 hours, I'd say I hope you have a good start into the weekend and you're not stressed or anything. And yeah, but as I said, I'm currently at the Night Prince, and I have to make some X's down here because I think I'm at 74, so I'm almost up par. Wait, it's the wrong row. Almost up par, or onto where it's currently at. I will simply continue on because, as I said, I keep losing track of where I stopped, so I'm going to enter this into this because what else capacity is for besides keeping track of your stuff? I mean, I have it somewhere written in my previous bullet journal where I stopped with the yeah, I have to stop with the Empire. Wait, I don't want to be flat here. With the Empire, and as I said, I stopped reading it at some point. I have a membership. I'm going to renew it also, but where is it? Okay. Empires of Stars. I have started it. I will have to check up on where I stopped. I think I was in the hundreds already. And yeah, it has been going on quite some time, so it's not like she writes short stories like that, but it's quite long, truth be told. They have a natural flow to them, and it's really well thought out. So leaving you with that, check out Wraith Rhine. Not that I'm sponsored or anything. I just want to support the authors that I like and hope that other people will fall in love with their stories too. So with that in mind, I'll say good night. Have a good start into the weekend, and we'll see us next week at 6 p.m. German time, and I hope to see you then. Bye!